people don't realize, but you used to be a scrappy little fighter yourself. I used to spar with him a lot.
I did too.
And people don't know, like you had that overhand, right? Like you had that power, man.
Yep.
Like you've
Dangerous.
What would you fight at 155?
45.
45?
Yeah.
You've rocked me before, man.
Well, you guys rocked me too. So.
You're like that dumb kid, like get in there. I'm gonna fight this one,
man,
whatever,
yep.
and to do, yeah.
To my own detriment at times, I think.
Like Leonard.
Yeah.
Same as that.
Yeah. Have you done pro boxing fights?
No, my whole career was amateur, and I felt like when the time was really ready, I had a pretty severe injury, and then I thought my whole martial arts career was done. And that's when I remember one night I was hitting the speed bag in a big old boot and crutches, and just wanted to get into the gym because it was so therapeutic. It was my place. And Greg was like, "Hey, you're not going to fight. You're going to start coaching." And I was looking around the room, and there's like legends like you guys in there, and I'm like, "Why are you picking me to coach?" But Greg's just like, you have the, I don't know, some of the characteristics and qualities of a
You're
leader.
really similar to Greg, and it's crazy he knew that because I didn't see that. I just saw this wild kid.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that in myself either.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what, like, I've been with you in corners of fights and stuff, and this is my philosophy. When you're at a fight, like, honestly, your coach doesn't really matter much. If you're getting, like, techniques during a fight,
Right.
like
It's too late.
it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not in the moment for one. Like, throw this and throw that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to throw this and throw that.
Right.
It's whatever. It's more about having that. You're about to go to war, and you literally feel like you're going to like a samurai battle, like in life and death is on the line. That's the way I felt. I know a lot of fighters back in that area felt that same way. It's not like a sport. It's more like we're about to go to this real combat, and you just need that calming team behind you you feel like they're with you, and they're going to be in this battle with you, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just having that calm presence behind you, and that's what you have, and that's what Greg Jackson has, and that's what's really amazing. And I think that's why the fighters gravitate towards you, because I need that energy in my corner. And when we come in between rounds and stuff, it's just that really positive, almost like kid voice talking to you, which is the voice you need to have in your head when you're fighting, is like that baby talk voice, right? You can't have that angry dad voice in your head.
For sure.
And in the rings, it's all just like, it's more mood, it's more tempo, it's more attitude, and it's not more like you got to do this and you got to do this.
Correct.
And
I feel aligned with that.
Yeah.
I try to bring that calming, clear, focused energy, right? I can't be shouting instruction, direction. Like I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't get absorbed.
Yeah.
Right? But if I could just be calm,
And it's
cool,
confusing.
and it's confusing.
You
Yeah,
know,
especially when your heart rate's 180.
You're muddling his mind up.
And I've seen you probably with me, and when I was a coaching too, like when people are like young coaches, and like you're familiar with Jean too, that's doing that, yelling direction, all that, and like you just kind of got that smile on your face, and you're just kind of like letting it happen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let it play out a little bit too,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
I can't. And there's been fights and fighters where it's like, every 5 seconds I'm trying to be on them, give them some direction, give them, because that's what they want. But for the high level guys, and plus the guys I really bond with, it's like, no, let it play out.
You've already done the work.
Yeah.
Like,
And that means a lot, because it says,
Yeah.
it's a lot of trust, right? Like, especially when you have that brotherhood and that bond. And it's like, man, I want to see you come out the other side of this, like,
Yeah.
healthy,
Like
intact. Like, I love your kids and your family, and I
Yeah.
care about 20 years from now.
It's not transactional. It's
not
like family.
transactional, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Greg was in my corner too, like he would say stuff, whatever, and it was never like I never even heard what he said for the most part. But you hear his tone of voice, and his tone of voice tells you what you're doing in the fight. Like, oh, I need to pick it up a little bit. I'm being a little bit lazy here, or or I need to calm down, maybe. Like all these things.
Well, it means a lot too. It's humbling, especially like all the fighters, but even being in there with John when it's like such big stakes and legacy. And
sure.
And then John's always like, dude, I can look at you as we walk out, and I know it's time, and I know we're going to be all right, and I know we're going to go through this together.
Yeah. Not too many people can experience that. That's one of the best experiences of my life. In fact, I was just writing about that in my screenplay, is what it's like to do the long walk, the long walk from your locker room to the cage. You got to go through you must basically walk around the whole freaking arena.
Yeah.
And then you walk down the aisle to the cage, right?
Yeah.
But what it's like to be there with the camera crew in front of you and with your team behind you, and like all this training, all this camp you did to this fight that you're the main event of 30,000 in the arena, millions at home watching, and thinking of yourself as a little kid, and now you're about to make this walk, and that team with you on that walk, man.
What
it's
a mental twist, too.
Yeah.
Like, it all matters this much. Here's all these screaming voices. And then it can't matter at all because it can't it's like I have to go out there and just play.
Yeah.
You know, and to get into that, like to control the mindset of the fighter. And that, you know, I think one of the most amazing fights I ever saw was Carlos when he fought Nick Diaz. And Carlos before that, it was like right at the cusp. I think he was one of the first 5-round fights that wasn't a belt fight, right? It was just because you were on the main card.
Were you there?
That was my first actual UFC corner was Carlos versus Diaz.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And what was amazing there is like, because Carlos is a dog and is a slaughterer, and he goes out and he looks to kill and he wants to mix it up. And to see his restraint through that, bang, 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 move, bang, 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 move. And to watch him stick to that for 5 rounds, the concentration that must have took, like watching that, I was like, that's an amazing, and that was different than the fight before that he had. You know what I mean?
sure.
It was different than all his other fights, and he changed in that moment into this other thing, which I thought was a phenomenal amount of concentration. What a mental game that is.
Well, and Carlos is one of those guys that can hone his emotion, right? Like some guys like John never wanted to be emotional. Carlos was one of those guys like, let me tap into some of this, and it would carry him to high places. But the Diaz fight was kind of the opposite, where it's like, I can't be matching you on emotion. No. And Carlos stayed very calm, which I think kind of.
How much did you train that?
I don't know. You know, I don't know
like
if I
he
could
had to
dig
be
any
conscious of that going in.
credit for it, but yeah. But it was kind of like you see
that's
how
a real Greg thing for sure.
Is
And
that
that's
right?
your first.
Yeah.
Greg is like, that's
what I was
what
gonna
Greg is a master at. Is like Diaz is gonna, his energy is gonna be like this, and don't fall into this trap. And,
Disconnect from him.
Yeah, yeah.
Hit him. Disconnect from him.
I actually would say that I was kind of the opposite. And that being one of my first big corners, I remember a part. It was like the end of the 3rd round. Carlos throws a kick. Diaz catches it and starts to like teeter-tot him.
Yeah.
But the bell rings. The round's over, and Diaz still has his leg up in the air, and Carlos is, one-legged bouncing back. And I stand up. I'm like, let him go, Nick. And Greg sat my ass down, looked at me, and said, you will never stand up in my corner ever again, Brandon. And I said, yeah, yes, sir. And so we joke about that now, looking back, that I was the emotional one. Greg had to calm Carlos's nerves and my nerves.
So funny.
That was the Albuquerque and us getting wild.
Yeah.
I still, you're great, man. Hey, so you got a day job, man. Your life is really interesting to me, man. Like you were heads of the park and rec for Albuquerque, which seems like whatever, like a fun little job or whatever. But that's like one of the, I know from Jardine, that's like one of the highest stress jobs in the administration, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So recently you stepped down and not stepped down, but lateraled over to take the job to be head of the zoo.
Correct. Yeah. So
Dope.
yeah, I kind of joke sometimes that like in the daytime I train wild animals, and then at night I train some even wilder animals. But yeah, Keith, it's cool. Sometimes even my boys are like, Dad, I don't get how, you had this one government job and then they let you be in charge of the zoo. But it wasn't that big of a leap, because I was overseeing all the wildlife biologists, archaeologists, natural lands, resources.
Yeah.
A lot of wildlife preserves. And I just understood a bunch of different roles of government. And they needed somebody at the zoo, and they called me up, and we were working in a lot of meetings, especially on endangered species. And they said, would you consider a lateral transfer over here? And I went.
Oh, so they asked you?
Yeah, yeah. And I went, and they kind of gave me a tour, and I was feeding tigers and snow leopards and
Fuck
penguins.
yes.
And I was like, I never thought I was going to leave, but I could do this. And now I've been there for 7 years, so I've really dove into that world of.
Time flies.
Of, yeah.
So tell me about what I've been eager to know is about the elephants. What's her name?
Oh, Alice.
Alice
The
the
elephant went for a little stroll.
Did you hear about this?
Got loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like national news. That
She
was
found her way out, man. Well, I'll let you go, man.
Well, that was an interesting morning. It was like Sunday morning, pretty early, like 7 a.m., and I get a call, and they said, hey, it was a security guard. And they were like, hey, Alice is, she's out. And I'm like, what do you mean she's out? What do you mean she's out? But she was able to actually find a weak spot in, it wasn't even a gate. It was a fence line, and she broke these massive welds.
How
Pressed
strong
on
is
it.
she?
Yeah, and she's 12,000 pounds. And
Damn.
pressed on it and popped it open and was able to.
She's been planning for months. It's her Shawshank Redemption moment.
Well,
She had a little poster up in front of them.
Right. Raquel Welch.
Go ahead.
Oh, I got there and the team was just so calm, and we trained for these emergencies, and everything was just so well rehearsed, and the trust that these animals have with their care staff is incredible because the care staff just called her and she came strolling right back in pretty much.
Oh, my people.
Like if she wanted to be out and wreak havoc and destroy, she could have, but she really did just go for a leisurely stroll.
Crazy.
She ate some trees and some plants and
so you saw it on video, right?
well, the security guard saw it on video and then called us in, and our team responded really quickly. And I was right there with the team.
You saw her leave the fence?
Yeah.
Wow.
What I'm curious about, like, was there any animals that she wanted to visit right away? Like any?
No. She kind of just went down like the pedestrian path and
I can just imagine.
but
We're all strolling around.
yeah.
Where'd she go? What'd she do?
She kind of went up the main guest path past giraffes and then into our Asia habitat where the orangutans are. And by that time we were there, and we just opened up some, gates to get her back into her habitat, and she just came and strolled right back in.
It's cool.
You didn't have to push her. You didn't have to.
No, it was no. And that's where I just get blown away with these bonds that the care staff and the trust that they have, and much like the fight game, like if emotions were high and people were tense, animals would feel it.
Bad choices get made.
Yeah, but she just ate a little bit, and we actually kind of ended up releasing some of the footage to like share with the community, share with the world. Like there was nothing stressful about this,
Right.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I know there's a lot of differentiating views on animals that are in human care, but also like the world's a crazy place, and I truly know in my heart, my soul, that the work we're doing to ensure that these animals are here for future generations is critical. It's not a menagerie. We don't just have these animals on display. Yeah. Like we are tied into such an incredible team of scientists worldwide for work of elephants in the wild in India and throughout Asia, and then work across the country. It's a really cool thing to be a part of. And
it's really, and since you've been there, you've expanded their habitat like many times over.
Yeah, and that's the key too. Like when old zoos were kind of a menagerie, like how many animals can you have on display? And now it's about let's have the most complex, enriching environments for the animals to like choose to participate in their own health care and the evolution of the science and our care for them. And like I said like we just helped develop a vaccine for this elephant herpes virus, which is like the #1 killer of elephants in the wild and in human care. So now they're going to start getting vaccinated and hopefully, save these species for future generations.
Wow. What's your favorite animal there?
Man, I love the big cats,
The big cats?
I love the big cats, but I love handling the snakes. I'm learning that more and more. I love being with the big hoof stock, like hippos, rhinos, elephants, giraffes are so cool. But man, the big cats, I love watching all the subtleties. It reminds me a lot of fighting, like, when you see a fighter get tense in their shoulder, their core, their stance, like that's how I feel when I'm with the cats, watching their ears pin, watching their eyes dilate, watching their facial expressions, watching their body.
They're crazy
that
looking.
reminds me of when I was with Steve Irwin at the Australian Zoo and we're feeding the crocs. He said that too, and he's like, "You're a fighter. You're gonna notice this, like, because we're standing over this bridge and we're feeding them like a bunch of meat." And he's like, "They don't care about that meat. They want to get you. Like the meat, they'll take it and all that, but they're looking for you." And he says, "You'll lean over there, you're gonna dingle the meat, and they're gonna swim around, whatever. But you're gonna see them, boom, when they lock onto you." And they'll
that gave me chills just thinking about this.
And start moving towards you, and like you're locked in now. There's no returning from this point. Like, and just like you said, man, it just felt like you're in a fight, and it was crazy, man. And you can see that because we're all animals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was in Australia, there's lions that got out of the zoo, out of the perimeter, into the neighborhood, and they found a weak spot in the fence, and there was nothing. I mean, they were real retractable, but like I think three got out, and to be like to the bar away from a lion is, like you say, it is a crazy thing. There's a huge warning track there. Don't put an appendage past this tape, like all that. They're wild, beautiful though. Watch them interact.
But they want to get you, man.
Oh, they want to grab your hand and pull you in.
Yeah.
I see these people mess with them in the zoo, like those, and I rejoice every time. I'm like, thank God the dumb people are getting trained by these animals. You can't get mad at the lion for doing lion shit.
Yeah. Steve also told us that with the big cats, and you guys were like when they're doing all the stuff, like cute and whatever, but they want to eat you. Yeah, they don't know you. They want to eat you.
Yeah, some of the species like the elephant, like she recalls, she has that trust, that bond.
Yeah.
But And you know, if she wanted to, she could
And a
just,
high level intellect.
Yes.
Very
Elephants.
hot. We don't even know.
Yeah.
how
Then on
high.
some of the
like
some of the
communication
species,
and all that. Yeah.
oh, they feel vibrations in the ground, and it's so incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel so like fortunate in this like crazy career path I have to get to be in these places.
What a
and
new
learn
education for you.
Yeah, like I have a biology background,
Right.
and government management.
But to see ongoing of how this is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, beautiful.
And people
Oh yes,
keep,
my education, like watching.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
and you keep.
it's enlightening.
So
And you keep
cool.
thinking you're out of the fight game, but people keep pulling you back into it. You're so valuable, man.
What's your next thing in the fight game?
I would definitely have you in my corner if I was fighting.
That means a
That's
lot,
great.
Keith,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
because I look up to you guys so much. Like, you know, in one quick little sidebar, like I think part of my passion and love for coaching came from going to a lot of your UFC fights. You know,
thanks,
like
man.
traveling, you know, with the team to go watch Keith fight Chuck and Rampage, and just like seeing your process inspired me and motivated me so much, and just to be like a super small part of like the training camp or a sparring session, and I don't know, to me it was so motivating. Like, man, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah. Fuck, there's nothing hotter than that process and what it takes to get into the ring, man. Like, it's never fear of your opponent. It's just fear of yourself performing and just to get it.
I don't want to let down the guys behind me.
And I just want to be dialed in right at the right moment. But it's never like I'm afraid to fight. I'm in a fight with whoever I can fight. If a guy pisses you off over there, disrespect, you're in a fight. It's not a big deal. But just to go through this and get your performance. But that's great, man. I know you got to get out of here, but I can't wait to have you on again.
Dude, let's
real
do it
soon.
again, guys. I want to talk
absolutely.
about wild animals and fist fights and your guys' acting, man. That's the other thing too. Like this second half of, you know, these different chapters of your career where you guys are writing and stuntmen and acting. And to me, it's also so inspiring because I believe a lot of the fighters are just such multifaceted people, and you guys are like the best examples of that. That's why I love martial arts.
The cool part about it is like it's like there's this group of guys. Like that's the thing when you're talking about going to the history of all the fights of Keith's and all. Like it's like here's this fellowship, this you know, this fidelity of these men that are together, and you're like, well, I can be a part of it, and that's the best part of it. But now to watch it over decades, and to go, here's where these guys that threw their whole everything into this one little thing, and then that burns out, and then here's the next thing, and here's the next, and to watch where everybody goes with all this stuff is, I mean, I get blown away.
And then on the other side, people that don't have the next thing, and that's
Sure.
something that I'd love to talk about too.
Yeah, like I was talking about that the other day about. I mean, there's a guy at our gym up north, and he's, I don't know, he's probably my age, and he's telling one of the young coaches, he's like, oh, that's all you got. Da, da, da. This guy that's trying, and he's one of Ray Borg's guys, really good kid, and him harder. That's all you could do. That, and he's into that kind of thing where he's trying to, and I was like, ugh. And he says, well, so then, you know, I put him down or whatever. And I go, it's a choice, you know, but like this idea about, I said, you got to understand where he comes from of like never expressed himself in the way he wanted to at the appropriate time. And now he's here and it comes out weird. You know what I mean? And you see a lot of dudes that are like, that's why everybody that is like, wants to do anything, I'm like, do it, go get experiences. Cause otherwise it'll burn in you and it comes out weird 10 years later, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
All right, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you
God
guys,
bless,
man. Thank
Good
you
to see
so
you.
much.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Thank you for having me on. Bro, that was fun, guys.